Hey mamas, it's been a while. I hope you have been doing well this pregnancy. It's almost the end of my third trimester. I'm almost 37 weeks. And so today I'd love to lead us in a quick, easy, gentle yoga flow using a chair. So you can grab any chair that is accessible to you. It could be in your living room, in your bedroom. It can even be your couch. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we can either get started sitting on the mat or a bolster, or since we have our chair here, we might as well utilize it. So let's go ahead and find a comfortable seated position with your feet flat on the ground. Go ahead and close your eyes. Maybe you bring your hands to your belly, connect with your baby, and we'll begin the class by taking 3 deep inhales and 3 deep exhales. So go ahead and exhale everything out, and then we'll inhale, expand the belly, and then exhale, suck everything in, hug the baby in tight. Inhale, exhale, one more, inhale, and exhale. Let's go ahead and gently blink your eyes open. Bring your arms up over your head. Reach them long towards the ceiling. Maybe you pull one arm higher than the other arm. And then bring your arms down. Let's come up to a standing position facing the chair. So facing our chair, make sure the chair is against a wall. You could also use a table or your kitchen counter, just something where you can put pressure onto the chair or the table. Okay, so let's go ahead and inhale your arms up. And exhale, forward fold, putting your hands onto the chair. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into a downward facing dog position. Again, utilizing the chair instead of bringing your arms all the way to the ground. And if it feels good to you, maybe you wiggle out your hips. Maybe you bend your knees. Your feet can be as wide as the mat or as wide as it feels good to you. And just feel that nice stretch in the back of your spine. Take another inhale and another exhale. Look up at your chair and step your feet up. Inhale, half lift, elongate your spine, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees and lift your arms all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll step our right foot forward into a lunge position. And you can either stay here with your hands planted on the chair, or you can lift up into a crescent pose. Take another inhale, and then exhale, open up into warrior two. Take one more inhale and then lean back into reverse warrior. And then exhale into extended side angle. So you can either have your forearm on your knee or your thigh, or you can utilize the chair here. Take one more inhale and then come back up into warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down onto the chair and step back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, step your left foot forward, and you can either stay here or you can inhale up into crescent pose. And then take one more inhale, and then exhale, open up into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then exhale, extended side angle. Cartwheel your hands down onto the chair and step back into downward facing dog. Look up at your hands and step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale your arms all the way up. Come down, bring your arms down into mountain pose. Close your eyes. And we'll take another inhale here. And exhale. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do this flow one more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward and come up into high crescent if that feels good to you. And exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Bring your hands down to frame your front foot or just onto the chair, and then step back into downward facing dog. All right, inhale, step your left foot forward and come up into high crescent. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Place your hand on the chair and step back into downward facing dog. Look up at your hands, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. All right. So now we're going to utilize the chair to get into some low lunges. So let's go ahead and plant our hands on the chair, step back into downward facing dog. Again, really feeling into the lower back and elongating the spine. And then we'll take our right foot and step it forward. Bring it to the right edge of the mat so it's a wide lunge. And if you need to move your back leg back a little, go ahead and do that. And you can either stay here and kind of rock back and forth, feeling into this wide lunge, or you can lower your back knee. If you have a blanket handy, you can use that to place under your knee if your knees are feeling kind of sensitive today. And you can stay here, or you can lower onto your forearms, onto the chair, or you can use a block or just go all the way down to the mat if that feels good for you. Where I am right now, my belly feels so low that utilizing the chair feels really nice. And just breathe into this hip opener. You can sway from side to side or rock back and forth. Whatever feels good to you. We'll take one more inhale, and then on the next exhale, come back up to your hands, lift up your back knee, and then step back into downward facing dog. And if it feels good to you, you can pedal out your knees, sway your hips back and forth. On your next inhale, step your left foot forward, bring it to the left edge of your mat. And you can either stay here in a high lunge, or you can lower down your back knee, making sure that your feet are wide apart, your stance is wide apart. And you can stay here, or you can lower down onto your forearms. And again, either rocking back and forth or swaying side to side. Maybe even take some hip circles. Take one more inhale. On your next exhale, push yourself back up to your hands. Lift up your back foot, your back knee, and then step back into downward facing dog. Again, doing whatever you need to do to make your hips feel good, whether it's pedaling out your knees, swaying your hips from side to side. And then look up at your hands, remove the blanket if it's there. Step your feet up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale your arms all the way up. All right, so now we're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold. This has been one of my favorite movements during this pregnancy. Just because it feels really great on my back and my hips. So you can keep facing your chair if that feels good for you. And just go ahead and bring your legs wide, wider than the mat. And you can either use the chair to forward fold, or you can bring your hands down to a block or bring them all the way down to the mat. Whatever feels good for you in this moment. So I'm going to start by just lowering down onto the chair, bringing my forearms and my head down to the chair while folding forward at the hips, keeping my legs straight. There's a tiny micro bend in my knees, so I'm not overextending my legs. And this is a great spot to land. I can feel my spine elongating, and it feels good on my hips as well. I am actually going to take a step back and bring my hands down to the mat. And you can either do this, your hands can be on blocks, you can bring your hands to the back of your ankles if that feels good. You can interlace your fingers behind your back if you have the balance for that. Whatever feels great for you right now. And we'll take another inhale, another exhale, one more inhale, and one more exhale. And now we're going to make our way into yogi squat balasana pose. So this is what it looks like. You can face your chair if that feels good for you, but basically bring your feet in a little closer. They can still stay wide, wider definitely than your belly. And you can bring your hands to the inside of your knees. If this is a lot for you right now, though, you can sit on a bolster or a pillow or a block if that feels good for you. And really, we're just opening up our hips a little bit more. And just breathe into this pose. This is a really good pose to help get your hips and your pelvis ready for labor. And your feet, you can either have your feet flat on the mat, or mine, I'm kind of just more on the balls of my feet. But really, it's your practice, so do what feels best for you in this moment. And if you do have your feet flat, maybe you sway a little bit from side to side. All right. So now we're going to move into a quick shavasana. I do think that taking some time to rest your body and your mind is really important, especially this far in our pregnancies. So if you have the time to do a shavasana, I highly recommend it. So if you have blocks, you can use your blocks and your bolster to kind of set up a nice little angle of the bolster for you to relax on. Since we do have our chair here, you can prop up some pillows against the chair. Honestly, if you feel good sitting in the chair, you can do that as well. Or you can just lie flat on the mat on your side with a bolster or a pillow, a pregnancy pillow, in between your knees. Really, whatever feels good for you. I'm gonna prop up my bolster and a block against the chair. And I'm gonna take another pillow and place it underneath my knees. So yeah, do what feels good for you. Use as many pillows as you have accessible to you. You can use some blankets, roll up the blankets to make a nice little place for your knees. Do what feels good, and we'll be here for about 5 minutes. If you don't feel like doing Shavasana now, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope this felt really good for you, and good luck with the rest of your pregnancy. Otherwise, let's go ahead and lower ourselves down and close our eyes, and we'll just be here for about 5 minutes. And let's go ahead and take 3 more deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale exhale. Bring your arms up over your head. Take a nice stretch with your arms and maybe your legs. And then go ahead and bring your hands to your third eye center. Thank you so much for joining me today in this yoga practice. I wish you light and love and a healthy and easy labor and delivery. Namaste.